The narrative begins with exploring the extraordinary journey of Stephen Boyd, an actor whose talents transcended borders. From his humble roots in Northern Ireland, Boyd emerged as a captivating force in cinema, seamlessly crossing continents and cultural divides. His ability to embody complex characters earned him admiration from audiences and critics alike, reflecting a unique blend of strength and vulnerability. The pinnacle of his career unfolded in the epic film Ben-Hur, where his portrayal of Messala, the conflicted Roman tribune, not only captured viewers' attention, but also led to a Golden Globe nomination. Despite his remarkable achievements, Boyd's life was marked by personal struggles and relentless ambition. The darker shadows of his story reveal an ongoing battle with the pressures of fame and the toll it took on his well-being. Tragically, at the tender age of 45, Boyd's vibrant life was abruptly halted, leaving behind a legacy that continues to intrigue and inspire. The exploration now delves deeper into the various chapters of Boyd's life, reflecting on both his triumphs and hardships. Stephen Boyd's ascent to fame during the 1960s was marked by a string of commanding roles that showcased his extraordinary range as an actor. Born and raised in Belfast, Northern Ireland, Boyd quickly proved that he was not confined by his origins. With a natural charisma and rugged handsomeness that captivated audiences, he infused a visceral intensity into every role he inhabited. One of his most acclaimed performances came in The Fall of the Roman Empire, where he portrayed Livius, a noble and loyal general caught in the corrupt politics of ancient Rome. This role allowed him to bring depth and humanity to a character that could have easily fallen flat. Equally memorable was his part in Fantastic Voyage, a groundbreaking science fiction film in which Boyd played Grant, a stoic yet compassionate protector on a perilous microscopic mission inside the human body. His ability to embody characters of vastly different nationalities became one of his trademarks, offering portrayals of Russians, Mexicans, Frenchmen, and Germans with convincing ease. During a time when Hollywood often shied away from such diversity, Boyd's fluency in physicality, commanding voice, and intense expressions made him a favorite among directors seeking an actor who could deliver emotional power. Boyd was not merely an actor of his time, he was ahead of it, setting a precedent for international casting and representation in film. Boyd's cinematic achievements often overshadow his varied work on television and stage, but his contributions in these arenas were substantial and fulfilling. Through performances in popular television series like The Virginian, a notable Western drama, he connected with millions of viewers, revealing a different aspect of his acting talent. This series allowed him to showcase his skills in a manner that was relatable and accessible to a broad audience. In The Name of the Game, Boyd confronted contemporary topics while taking on modern, psychologically rich roles that emphasized his versatility and depth as an actor. His dedication to his craft did not stop with film and television. He deeply engaged with live theater's challenges. On Broadway, he starred in Don Juan in Hell, providing a captivating interpretation of George Bernard Shaw's famed work. Sharing the stage with luminaries like Charles Boyer and Agnes Moorehead, his portrayal of Don Juan earned significant acclaim, demonstrating his remarkable ability to navigate complex philosophical dialogue. Critics highlighted his dynamic stage presence and vocal prowess, revealing that he infused the production with an infectious energy that resonated with audiences. Boyd's journey into television and stage was strategic and meaningful, evident in his commitment to honing his craft and connecting with diverse audiences through various mediums. Born William Miller in Glengormley, a small town near Belfast, Northern Ireland, Stephen Boyd emerged from a working-class family as one of 6 children. His upbringing was characterized by economic hardship, which pushed him to take on manual labor, working in a local factory to help support his family. However, buried within the struggles of daily life was a burning desire for something greater. The swashbuckling adventures of Errol Flynn and the gritty charm of James Cagney captivated him, kindling his passion for performance and igniting a dream of acting. This inspiration drove him to take part in amateur dramatics and local theater, where he began to build the confidence necessary to step beyond the constraints of his hometown. Relentless in his pursuit, he secured a place at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, a prestigious institution known for its rigorous training. Under the guidance of celebrated stage actor Donald Wolfett, Stephen absorbed the fundamentals of acting, including technique and discipline. His studies included Shakespearean plays, voice modulation, and exploring character depth, all of which contributed to the refinement of his craft. This educational experience was pivotal, setting the stage for a career characterized by versatility and passion. It was during this time that he adopted the name Stephen Boyd, marking a reinvention and embracing a new identity that would lead him to success in film and theater. Taking shape through the guidance of director William Wyler, Stephen Boyd's career-defining breakthrough was a calculated journey rather than mere chance. Wyler, esteemed for his meticulous approach and knack for drawing out profound performances from actors, recognized Boyd's potential early on. Boyd's first significant role came in The Big Country in 1958, where he shared the screen with legendary actors like Gregory Peck and Charlton Heston. Even though his part was minor, his intense presence and emotional control set him apart. This initial impression led Wyler to invest time in mentoring Boyd, urging him to focus on the nuances that would become signature elements of his style. This investment bore fruit when Wyler cast Boyd as Messala in the iconic film Ben-Hur in 1959. Balancing charm with menace, Boyd's portrayal displayed a complex evolution from friendship to fierce rivalry. His gripping performance, especially in pivotal scenes such as the chariot race, not only elevated the film but also earned him a Golden Globe nomination, firmly establishing his stature in Hollywood. His continued collaborations with Wyler, such as in The Collector in 1965, showcased a professional bond anchored in mutual respect and artistic ambition. Stephen Boyd's reputation as one of the most adaptable and versatile actors of his generation was not merely a result of his physical presence. It was born of an unrelenting pursuit of varied and challenging roles. He was never content with playing a single type of character or being boxed into a particular genre. Instead, he sought out projects that allowed him to explore different dimensions of human experience, whether heroic, villainous, tragic, or romantic. His role in Cleopatra, where he starred opposite Elizabeth Taylor and Rex Harrison, placed him amid the most extravagant production of its time, showcasing his ability to command attention even in a film dominated by monumental sets and larger-than-life personalities. In The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, although often overshadowed by the towering presences of James Stewart and John Wayne, Boyd's subtle character work helped balance the dynamics of one of the greatest westerns ever made. He didn't shy away from eccentric roles either. His chilling portrayal of a villain in The Abominable Dr. Phibes, a cult horror film co-starring Vincent Price, demonstrated his willingness to experiment with tone and genre. Throughout his career, Boyd acted alongside some of the most legendary names in film history: Charlton Heston, Sophia Loren, Cary Grant, and always held his own. His ability to transform himself, shift accents, and embody a wide range of characters made him a sought-after presence on both sides of the Atlantic. Whether in epic sagas, noir thrillers, or intimate dramas, Boyd brought a consistent intensity that left a lasting impression. Despite his undeniable talent and early success, Stephen Boyd's career faced numerous disappointments and missed opportunities. One major setback was the commercial failure of The Fall of the Roman Empire in 1964. This grand historical epic had everything needed for a blockbuster, but did not recoup its enormous budget. Boyd's portrayal of Livius was strong and commanding, yet the film's box office flop led Hollywood producers to rethink big-budget projects, directly affecting the momentum of Boyd's rising star. Additionally, Boyd was once in contention for the iconic role of James Bond in Dr. No. Released in 1962. He was among those considered to be the first Bond, yet the part ultimately went to Sean Connery. That decision reshaped cinema's landscape and catapulted Connery to heightened fame. For Boyd, this was a painful near miss, especially as the Bond films grew to dominate global cinema. Nevertheless, he showcased resilience, refusing to be disheartened. Instead, he pursued roles that allowed for artistic growth, engaging in international and independent films that challenged his abilities. Even when those projects failed to achieve fame, Boyd still earned critical acclaim for his performances. This era marked a shift in his career, moving away from studio-driven roles and focusing on personal expression. Ultimately, he became a respected journeyman actor, admired for his dedication, even as he navigated an industry often quick to prioritize marketability over substance. Growing up as William Millar, Stephen Boyd faced a challenging life in Glengormley, where financial difficulties were a constant presence. With few job opportunities, he took on various menial jobs just to make ends meet. Despite these hardships, Boyd held on to his dream of becoming an actor. In his free time, he explored the world of performance through books and radio dramas, allowing his imagination to thrive. Inspired by the golden age of Hollywood, He believed that someone from a small town in Northern Ireland could achieve greatness on the global stage. His early performances in local theater drew attention, highlighting his natural talent and stage presence. Being accepted into the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art marked a pivotal moment in his life, confirming his years of hard work and ambition. With diligent training, he refined his voice, movement, and emotional depth under the guidance of seasoned professionals. When he ventured into films, he was determined to prove his worth, showcasing his abilities in significant roles such as The Bravados alongside Gregory Peck, and The Best of Everything as the romantic lead. These early successes established Boyd as a prominent figure in the evolving film industry. Each role he undertook reflected his commitment and perseverance, turning every challenge into a stepping stone toward his dreams. Portraying Messala in Ben-Hur became a defining moment in Stephen Boyd's acting career, leaving a lasting impression in cinematic history. To prepare for the iconic chariot race, Boyd undertook months of intense training that tested both his physical limits and emotional resilience. He had to learn to control the powerful horses and execute daring stunts at high speeds, pushing him to his absolute capacity. This rigorous preparation led to physical challenges. Boyd developed multiple blisters and abrasions, his hands and arms bearing the marks of his dedication. The filming conditions were harsh, with clouds of dust causing painful eye irritations, complicated further by wearing colored contact lenses to fit the Roman character's look. Despite these obstacles, Boyd insisted on performing many of the challenging sequences without a stunt double, driven by a desire to deliver an authentic performance that would resonate with audiences. His portrayal was layered and complex, turning Messala into a character who grappled with intense emotions, including betrayal and the cost of ambition. Boyd's intensity and depth provided a compelling counterbalance to Charlton Heston's Judah Ben-Hur, creating scenes filled with palpable tension and a rich backstory. His work in Ben-Hur was recognized with a Golden Globe nomination, and the film achieved remarkable success, winning a record-breaking 11 Academy Awards, with Boyd's performance at its emotional heart. The dedication Boyd showed in embodying Messala highlighted his commitment to his craft, underscoring the authenticity that defined his acting style and solidified his legacy in film history. In a bold move that defied expectations, Stephen Boyd took on the role of King Mongkut in a stage production of The King. Skepticism surrounded his casting as an Irish actor portraying a time monarch, especially since this role was famously played by Yul Brynner. Despite this, Boyd embraced the challenge with dedication. He immersed himself in the history and culture of Mongkut, a real-life scholar and reformer, allowing this depth of knowledge to inform his performance. Instead of replicating Brynner's signature style, Boyd aimed to bring his own emotional sincerity to the character, exploring the inner conflicts faced by a ruler balancing tradition and modernization. His deep voice and commanding stage presence conveyed both strength and vulnerability, enabling audiences to connect with Mongkut on a deeper level. Even Yul Brynner, who was once critical of others attempting the role, recognized Boyd's impressive interpretation and the dignity he brought to it. The production earned strong critical acclaim, highlighting Boyd's nuanced acting and fresh perspective. This experience showcased Boyd's willingness to take risks with roles that required more than physicality. They involved cultural sensitivity, emotional depth, and a fearless commitment to authenticity. Shifting from role to role, Stephen Boyd showcased an impressive capacity to embody various characters throughout his career. This versatility became particularly apparent in his performance in The Abominable Dr. Phibes, where he shared the screen with horror figure Vincent Price. In this film, Boyd stepped into the shoes of a character that radiated a charming menace, captivating audiences with a blend of charisma and danger. Rather than portraying a straightforward villain, Boyd delivered a multifaceted character whose depth and motivations resonated long after the film concluded. His performance received accolades for its nuance, as he demonstrated that villainy can be subtle and layered rather than overtly exaggerated. Price himself recognized Boyd's skill in bringing a depth that engaged viewers without unnecessary theatrics. This role highlighted Boyd's ability to command attention, whether he was a heroic figure, a romantic lead, or a calculating antagonist. Each character was infused with genuine emotion and intellect, making them memorable in their own right. Boyd's work illustrated a simple truth in acting: the power of presence and authenticity transcends the size of a role. Such performances left a lasting impression on both critics and audiences, affirming that true artistry is found in the richness of each portrayal. Just as Stephen Boyd seemed poised to enter a new chapter of creative exploration, tragedy struck. In 1977, at only 45 years old, Boyd suffered a fatal heart attack shortly after completing a guest appearance on the popular television show Hawaii Five-0. His sudden death stunned the entertainment industry and devastated fans who had followed his career from its earliest days. At the time of his passing, Boyd was still active, still hungry for meaningful roles, and still respected as a consummate professional. He had recently begun exploring smaller, more character-driven parts, with aspirations to work behind the camera, and perhaps even direct. His passing felt particularly cruel, not only because of his age but also because it came during a time when the film industry was evolving, moving toward the kind of nuanced storytelling and morally complex characters that Boyd excelled at. Portraying. Friends and colleagues described him as warm, deeply committed, and grounded despite the fame. Though he never reached the lasting superstardom of some of his peers, his body of work remains cherished by film historians and classic cinema fans alike. From the awe-inspiring spectacle of Ben-Hur to the emotional gravity of the fall of the Roman Empire, from stage triumphs to experimental horror, Stephen Boyd left behind a diverse and inspiring legacy. His sudden departure left the world wondering what more he might have accomplished, but also grateful for the brilliance he shared in the time he was given. While many actors may depend on their natural charm to win over audiences, Stephen Boyd stood out as a true craftsman dedicated to his art. Each role he took on was seen as an opportunity to delve deeply into the character. In preparing for his iconic part in Ben-Hur, Boyd did not merely act as a charioteer. He engaged in rigorous training with live horses, often under intense conditions. The commitment he showed during the grueling filming of the race showcased not only his physical bravery, but also his determination to deliver an authentic performance. His passion extended beyond physicality, as he actively engaged in research and practice to acquire any new skill necessary for his roles. Whether it involved horseback riding, sword fighting, or learning a new language, Boyd was known for his dedication to mastering any challenge that came his way. This relentless pursuit for realism stemmed from his upbringing in Northern Ireland, where he faced considerable adversity. Boyd's childhood was marked by political strife and limited resources, experiences that shaped his understanding of life and character. This insight translated into his performances, imbuing them with an emotional weight that resonated deeply with audiences. He brought a sense of authenticity to every film, making it clear he was not just presenting a character but truly living within it. Directors often praised his unwavering discipline, while his co-stars admired his humility, creating a respectful and collaborative environment on set. Boyd's ability to connect with viewers and convey complex emotions enriched every project he touched, turning roles into profound experiences. Through his artistry, he transformed the way stories were told on screen, revealing the humanity behind each character. The combination of his remarkable work ethic and the life experiences that shaped him provided a depth that few actors could hope to match. Because of this, he has left an enduring mark in the world of cinema that continues to inspire many today. In an era when grand gestures and theatrical dialogue often dominated film acting, Stephen Boyd carved out a unique space by embracing restraint and emotional nuance. He understood that the most powerful moments on screen often came not from outbursts or speeches, but from stillness, a glance, a pause, or a tremor in the voice. Rather than relying on overacting or melodrama, Boyd specialized in subtle shifts of emotion that conveyed volumes. This stylistic choice made him a favorite among discerning directors and seasoned actors who appreciated his control and naturalism. His co-stars often spoke of his professionalism on set, his ability to listen in a scene, to react with authenticity, and to adapt quickly to new challenges. One striking example of his adaptive skill was his rapid mastery of chariot driving for Ben-Hur, a feat he accomplished in just 2 weeks, despite the danger and technical difficulty involved. This quiet determination, coupled with his focus on emotional truth, helped him deliver performances that have endured across decades. He never sought to dominate a scene through volume or bravado. He let the characters speak through him, and audiences could feel the emotional undercurrents behind his every action. His style may have been understated, but its impact was profound, elevating him among the most respected screen actors of his time. While Stephen Boyd's career included major critical highs, it was also marked by uneven commercial outcomes, an unfortunate reality for many serious actors of the period. One of the most significant examples was the fall of the Roman Empire, a lavish historical epic that featured an all-star cast including Sophia Loren, Alec Guinness, James Mason, and Christopher Plummer. Boyd carried the weight of the lead role, portraying the noble and principled General Livius with depth and conviction. Although the film was a commercial disappointment, largely due to its massive budget and changing audience tastes in the mid-1960s, critics singled out Boyd's performance as one of the film's redeeming qualities. His portrayal stood as a pillar of emotional complexity amid the film's grandeur. Even when the box office numbers fell short, Boyd's dedication never wavered. He consistently brought high-caliber work to every project, whether a sweeping epic or a character-driven drama. His consistency and work ethic created a reputation that outlasted the temporary verdicts of critics and box office analysts. He never let a project's success or failure define him. Instead, he focused on delivering authentic performances that could stand the test of time. In retrospect, many of the films that underperformed upon release have gained renewed appreciation, with Boyd's work often highlighted as a key reason to revisit them. Boyd's journey into cinematic prominence began with a pivotal opportunity that would forever change his life. When actor Kieran Moore withdrew from The Man Who Never Was in 1956, Boyd was cast in the role of a German spy tasked with uncovering an Allied deception during World War II. His performance was chillingly authentic, combining cool intelligence with emotional tension, drawing immediate attention from producers and critics. The subtle menace he brought to the role helped the film stand out, opening the door to larger, more complex parts. It was this performance that caught the eye of top Hollywood figures, leading to his casting as Messala in Ben-Hur, a part that became his signature role. For his work in Ben-Hur, Boyd received the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor, catapulting him into the upper echelons of the industry. In the following years, he continued to headline films across multiple genres, from The Best of Everything to Fantastic Voyage, solidifying his standing as both a bankable star and a critically recognized performer. Each key role marked a leap forward for Boyd, showcasing the complexity and depth of his talent. His rise to stardom was not just about fame. It was about earning respect through unforgettable performances. One of the more challenging episodes in Stephen Boyd's professional journey occurred during the filming of Genghis Khan, an ambitious historical epic in which he was cast as Jamuka, a childhood friend turned fierce rival to the titular Mongol conqueror. Although the lead role went to Egyptian star Omar Sharif, Boyd was given top billing, a decision that reportedly created noticeable tension on set. The perceived slight to Sharif, already a major international figure, stirred behind-the-scenes discomfort. However, Boyd maintained a composed and professional demeanor throughout the production. He focused intently on his role, channeling any friction into his performance, which demanded both physical strength and emotional complexity. Jamuka, as portrayed by Boyd, was not a mere antagonist. He was a tragic figure whose ideological conflict with Genghis Khan mirrored deeper themes of loyalty, power, and destiny. Despite the atmosphere of tension, Boyd delivered one of the film's standout performances, marked by intensity and gravitas. His ability to rise above on-set politics and remain focused on the integrity of his craft was a testament to his maturity and professionalism. Those who worked with him during the production often remarked that Boyd's calm presence and focus set a tone for the cast and crew, even under pressure. The film may have received mixed reviews, but Boyd's portrayal of Jamuka further solidified his reputation as a reliable and gifted actor who could carry a role with dignity, no matter the circumstances. Though he illuminated the silver screen with charisma, Stephen Boyd lived a life off-camera marked by quiet introspection and deep values. His private existence was infused with intellectual curiosity, steering clear of the Hollywood spotlight whenever possible. Boyd was known for being elusive, often opting out of interviews and public appearances, choosing instead to engage with his work and charitable efforts. A passionate reader, he rarely found himself without a book, whether on film sets or traveling the world. Conversations with him typically embraced heavier themes like philosophy and history, showcasing his engagement with the moral quandaries of society rather than the trivialities of fame. His quest for knowledge was relentless, and he approached learning as a lifelong endeavor, exhibiting the same dedication he applied in his acting career. This earnest pursuit of growth seamlessly flowed into his philanthropic work, as Boyd believed in using his influence for the greater good. He became the international president of the Variety Club, focusing his efforts on helping children in need, and extending his commitment through partnerships with organizations like UNICEF and the American Red Cross. Boyd consistently leveraged his fame to shed light on critical issues, visiting hospitals, and hosting charity events to advocate for those unable to speak for themselves. His heartfelt dedication to education and service highlighted a man deeply rooted in compassion, showcasing values that transcended the superficial allure of the film industry. Stephen Boyd's personal values significantly influenced his career choices, shaping how he approached his work in film. He was not drawn to the superficial allure of fame or the pursuit of purely commercial success. Instead, he sought out roles that offered emotional depth and complexity. Boyd preferred characters that embodied moral ambiguity and inner conflict, reflecting the true challenges and struggles of human life. This decision often led him to decline lucrative parts that seemed shallow, demonstrating his belief in the power of cinema to inspire, educate, and provoke thought. His dedication to portraying authentic human experiences made even his more flawed characters relatable. Whether he was playing a conflicted Roman officer, a misunderstood villain, or a noble general, Boyd infused each role with a profound inner life that transcended conventional storytelling. Directors respected his strong sense of integrity, acknowledging that he not only acted, but also selected his roles with thoughtful consideration, just as he lived his life. Co-stars found working with Boyd refreshing, appreciating his collaborative spirit and commitment to storytelling. Audiences connected with the authenticity of his performances, which were not mere imitations, but rather reflections of genuine emotion and truth. Ultimately, his ethical values served as a compass throughout his career, guiding him toward roles that left a profound impact both on his viewers and the film industry. Throughout the peaks and valleys of his career, Stephen Boyd built a reputation founded on respect, humility, and professionalism. Unlike many actors who measured their success by awards or box office numbers, Boyd focused on the integrity of his work and the admiration of his peers. Even when films like The Fall of the Roman Empire did not achieve commercial success, his performances remained highly praised. His colleagues, from seasoned stars to aspiring actors, often remarked on his quiet leadership on set, demonstrating how he inspired through action rather than ego. Known for his preparedness, Boyd consistently showed support for his fellow actors, while delivering performances that elevated the material. His commitment to excellence remained unwavering, even amid changing industry trends or missed opportunities. Rather than seeking headlines or indulging in self-promotion, he embraced the craft of acting, viewing each role as an opportunity to forge deeper connections with audiences. This grounded approach secured him a unique position in Hollywood as an actor admired by critics, castmates, and audiences alike. His humility during his most famous moments made him accessible, while his enduring dedication to storytelling ensured his unforgettable presence. Ultimately, his legacy was defined not only by the roles he played but by the dignity and authenticity with which he navigated both triumphs and setbacks in his career. Among the many intriguing elements of Stephen Boyd's life, one detail has remained the subject of quiet speculation: the exact year of his birth. Some official documents and studio biographies listed his birth year as 1928, while his obituary, published in 1977, claimed he was 49 years old at the time of his death, suggesting a birth year closer to 1927 or even earlier. The discrepancy has never been definitively resolved and adds a small, enigmatic layer to Boyd's already fascinating story. This confusion could have resulted from studio image crafting, a common practice in mid-century Hollywood, or even a personal choice to obscure his age in a competitive industry. Regardless, this mystery surrounding his birth date has not detracted from the respect he garnered throughout his career. Instead, it seems to have contributed to the legend that surrounds him. Ultimately, what mattered most to those who admired him, fans, peers, and historians alike, was not when he was born, but how he lived with unwavering commitment to his craft, and a dignity that remains compelling even today. His legacy lives on, defined more by his performances than by the uncertainty of his age at the time of his passing. In 1959's The Best of Everything, Stephen Boyd played Mike Rice, a compassionate and quietly tormented editor, in a film that tried to capture the struggles faced by working women in a male-dominated New York publishing firm. While Boyd's performance was widely praised for its emotional depth and sincerity, the film itself sparked controversy among fans of the original novel by Rona Jaffe. Jaffe felt that the cinematic adaptation softened and moralized her characters too much, thus diluting the bold themes of female empowerment and independence that were central to her book. Despite these concerns, Boyd's portrayal stood apart. Critics praised his ability to deliver a performance that felt grounded and empathetic, even when the script veered toward more conventional or sanitized interpretations. Boyd's scenes opposite co-star Hope Lange were particularly noted for their warmth and subtle chemistry, with Boyd bringing a quiet intensity and believable vulnerability to the role. It was another instance in which Boyd proved his consistency as an actor. Regardless of the material's limitations, he managed to find emotional truth within the character. His performance lent the film a layer of gravitas that helped it resonate with audiences, demonstrating once again his talent for elevating even flawed scripts through sheer conviction and craft. Stephen Boyd's legacy cannot be defined merely by the number of films he appeared in or the box office successes he enjoyed. Instead, his true influence lies in the integrity of his choices, the dedication he put into his work, and the deep respect he commanded throughout his career. He wasn't just another handsome actor or a typical leading man. Boyd was a rare blend of intellect, artistry, and humility. Whether he was playing the Roman tribune Messala in the epic Ben-Hur, a conflicted villain, a noble warrior, or a romantic lead, Boyd consistently brought an emotional honesty to each role. His performances were not just about acting, they were about conveying real, raw emotions in a way that resonated with audiences. Off-screen, Boyd's character was just as remarkable. He was a man of quiet strength, focused on personal growth, education, and his deep love for reading. He was also deeply committed to humanitarian causes, using his platform not for the sake of publicity, but out of a genuine desire to improve the world. He actively supported medical aid for those in need, and advocated for children's welfare. His passion for the arts was not about advancing his own fame, but about elevating others and promoting creativity. Directors saw him as a reliable craftsman, someone who could be counted on to bring depth to his characters. His co-stars admired him as a generous and collaborative partner, always contributing to the success of a production. Audiences knew him as an actor who gave real humanity to every role, transforming each performance into something meaningful and memorable. Though his life was tragically cut short, Stephen Boyd's impact on the world of film and beyond is undeniable. His legacy is not confined to his films alone. It lives on in the inspiration he continues to provide for aspiring artists everywhere, a reminder of what it means to use talent not for fame, but for something much greater: truth, humanity, and purpose. In examining the life of Stephen Boyd, we uncover a tale that balances the splendor of achievement with the melancholy of personal struggle. His rise to fame in films like Ben-Hur showcased his remarkable talent and depth as an actor, earning him accolades that many would envy. Yet, behind the cameras, Boyd grappled with the weight of expectations and the loneliness that often accompanies celebrity. His intense drive for success and recognition, while fueling his career, also pushed him toward a point of exhaustion and self-doubt. This gripping narrative not only highlights the artistry of a man who captivated millions, but also serves as a poignant reminder of the human cost of fame. Boyd's untimely passing at just 45 years old leaves a bittersweet aftertaste to the legacy he crafted. His story resonates with those who appreciate the profound complexities of life, marked by both brilliance and heartache. The exploration of Boyd's journey enriches our understanding of the man behind the screen, ultimately painting a multifaceted portrait of passion, talent, and vulnerability.